Yeah, hello, and welcome back to the grind. Here I am at the back of the back in the back in the world, right? And gonna finish up this boat this week. Well, I did finish it up. So I've got all the fiberglassing done underneath it, and the haven't done anything on the interior. Figure I'll just leave that. That'll wear off by the end of this year, and we'll fix up the interior next year. And then I got the wheelie things back on it, and I'll show you them later on how it works. It works pretty good. So that's it for the boat. We'll put it in the water when when it warms up. What we use it for is we use it for a tender, just to get out to, like in here is a real boat. Wait a minute until I get this up here. Oh boy, gotta put you down for a second. Hang on. So in there is like a real boat. That's a 14 foot or a 15, maybe a 16, yeah, 16 foot. 16 and a half, maybe 17 foot. Aluminum with 90 horsepower on the back there somewhere. And oh, there's another wasp nest right at the back of the place. Oh well, what do you want, eh? So this one here, we moor it out in front of Gus's place. He's got a nice sheltered cove, and we can moor the boat there. But to be able to get to the back and forth, we had this rubber dinghy boat, but it's had better days, and Fiona was kind of tough on it. Anyway, that being said, we'll see one of these days. Oh, I'm falling over. I'm tripping over this thing here. One of these days we'll get the rubber boat fixed up again, perhaps, and it'll be around. But for our purposes, that little boat right there will do just fine, getting us in and out of the water. So we just, and then the wheels on the back there are to be able to get it up on the beach easily with one person, because otherwise it's too much weight, too heavy. Anyway, there you go. That's that one done. So stick around, you'll see everything that happened, and hope you enjoy it all. See you later. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Yeah, here I am back on the boat, on the rowboat. Now I'll take a chisel and stuff and see if I can dislodge this here, which is the patch that I put on as a test. It's been there for 2 days, so it should be pretty well cured now. And I'll grind this stuff off so it's flat. This goes through this thing here just goes through it like butter. And then I'll start working on prepping this whole base here for I'll likely do it up to about here all the way around, except for on this side over here where I have to go a bit higher because there's a crack in it right there. Anyway, but that's all right. We'll see what I can come up with. Yeah, so I worked on this for a while to see if I could get it ripped off, and I could get it ripped off, but it came off in just little pieces. So I'm pretty sure that's a reasonably good bond if I work on getting it heated properly and everything comes out okay. So I'm gonna go with it, and well, the worst thing that'll happen is I'll be doing this again next winter, right? Or next spring. So what the hell, eh? Yeah, maybe an hour later, hey? And it's actually looking pretty good now. Lots of nails in it. I don't know if they were from the factory or from later on in life. But now, I think what I'll do is I'll do the heat treatment next, and then I'll do the acetone, but I'll get the vacuum cleaner up, clean up all this stuff here. And then after the I'll show you the heat treatment business a bit, because it's just there again watching paint dry. But I've got it cleaned down to here all the way around, and likely I'll just bring the fiberglass around, just around that edge there. Anyway, that's coming up. We'll just see how things work out. Now this, it won't be a perfectly flat bottom, but it's actually going to be not bad. And what I think I'll do is I'll lay down eventually, as I get there, I'll lay down a layer of resin just on it, let that harden overnight, and then I'll start laying on fiberglass over that, because I think that'll give it a good base to work off, and it might bind better to that if I just lay the resin on it and let that set up. And I'll just cut out little pieces of fiberglass to put on these, well, not that little, but on top of the spray foam stuff. That way it'll have a solid base on the spray foam too. Anyway, that's my plan. Don't know if it's going to work or not, but it likely will be pretty close to working. Yeah, so now that's fairly well prepared. It's like, that was 24 grit that I did that with, just lightly, so there's lots of, like, it's a groovy thing, right? And I'll go ahead now with the heat. So I'm going to start with the heat. I'll just do like that area up here, this across here with the heat. Then I'll acetone it. Then I'll move to the next area. Now I have a piece of metal that I can use. I'll use this for a shield so I don't get heat into the spray foam, which is going to be a problem if I do. Anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing. Up here, see what happens. Can you see that? There I am. Okay, be here in a second. I should have one of those great big heat things on a propane gun. So I'm going to call that part done. I'll go over here and get close to the I'll get close to the edge there, but I won't get to the edge. Yeah, that stuff melts pretty quick. Doesn't take much heat before it reacts to it. Then I'll get up close to the edge with my little shield. Later I'll do the whole thing. Yeah, that material up there just catches fire right away. Ah, well, that's all right. We just won't get too close to it. Just a bit of paint there. Just a bit of paint there. I'll clean that off. Now, you had enough watching this. I'll put you down. Yeah, just a bit of paint there. I'll put you down. I'll show you when I go on to the acetone part. See if I can do this without burning up everybody. Yeah, there. I got it all done, and I'll just take the acetone, which I got a bucket full of it here, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Set you up again here. There we are. And I'm just going to wipe this stuff on, right? you guys out of the way a bit here. Yeah, there, I guess that surface is reasonably well prepared. I'll lay down some resin, polyester resin I'm using, and I'll put a patch on these. First thing I'll do is patch these things here so they're not going to be, they're covered. Everything's covered in there. Then I'll lay down a coat of resin all over the thing, let that harden, and then tomorrow I'll come and start fiberglassing. Yeah, so there's the patches that I'll get on today. That one, that one, that one, and that one. And then I'll mix up some resin, get those ones laid in, and then I'll mix up enough resin to do the, well, not enough resin, but I'll mix up some resin and lay resin on the rest of the hull. Yeah, whenever I go to the store and pick up this stuff, the guy at the store says, "Gonna go home and make a mess, are you?" And I say, "Yeah, that's about what I'm gonna do." So here we come, making a mess. So first off, I'll put this patch on. And once that's running, and I mix it up in half-liter chunks because it's easy to handle in half-liter chunks. If you mix up more than that, you got to hurry before it starts hardening in the bucket on you, and that would be a pain. Yeah, so there, I'll leave that to set up. I don't know whether I've done a right thing or wrong thing by putting on a coat of resin or not, but that's what I've done, and that's what that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Looks like I have to pat that down a bit there. Okay. Yeah, here we are, back on the boat. I did the fiberglass. I laid down fiberglass in these areas that I put spray foam, there and there, there and there. Then I also laid down a layer of just resin on the hull, and let that cure overnight. Now it's still a little bit tacky, so that's good. You don't have to sand or anything. It's polyester resin. You don't have to sand before you put on more coats. So I'm going to put on 2 layers over the whole thing, I think, as long as I have material for it. And I'll put like an extra layer along here where it scrapes along. You can see where it scrapes on the shore or whatever you do, so that it'll be more protected there. Then let it cure, and that'll be that. It'll either hang on forever or not. Now I have to just clean up these edges a bit so I could put the fiberglass down those into that groove. Anyhow, but that's coming up. I'll see if I can press the right button on the camera here to make things come out this time. In the meantime, it's a pretty nice day out today, and Buster's outside today. There he is. There's the Buster over there. Wondering what to do. What'll I do? The cat's out here somewhere too, and it keeps him company. Anyway, I'll leave him out for a while and then put him back in the house after. Yeah, so the other wheel hub showed up for the little trailer. And that's new now. I just have to torque it down. I got the torque wrench out. Put the wheel back on. Put the wheel back on with Buster's help, right? Yeah, there it is, all back together. Torqued in. I torqued everything to about 50-ish. Let me see, what did I have this thing set at, I wonder? 60. Torqued everything to 60. 60 on the back bolts there that hold the axle, and 60 on the wheel bolts. That'll be okay after. Okay, there we go. Now I'll put this on the stand somewhere, and maybe I'll just turn it on as time goes by. Yeah, so there's a pretty good view of it all, hey? Anyway, I'll get ready and make a mess. Yeah, so here's the first piece I'll put on. I'll just make it wet with resin and then lay this in there. See how that works out? I'll just do it half and half. I'll make this end wet with resin, roll it over, and then make the other end wet with resin. We'll just see how it goes. Yeah, again I forgot to turn on the camera. Hey, it's on now. So there, I'll show you as I get along how things are going. But I'll turn it off before my hands are all too sticky. Whoops, there, hello. Yeah, so now I've got this piece here on, which is sort of the reinforcement for the center. And I've got one layer on the back, all the way around. I should put a little bit on there, which I will do. Then next will be a layer on the front. Then I'll see how I'm doing for materials, and I'll lay on some more, perhaps. If I'm running out of materials, well, that'll be how much it gets done. But for now, we'll the next one will go from here to just about the front there by that big piece I got cut over there. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, here now, a couple hours of dabbing later, and that's sort of got the hull complete. It's got two layers down to about the middle there, and one layer on the rest of it. And I think I'll just run another layer right down the middle and, you know, out to here or something. That should give it plenty of strength. In fact, it's likely got plenty of strength the way it is right now, as long as it holds the water out, which I'm pretty sure it will do. Well, who knows, eh? I'd like to be pretty sure, but we'll see what happens in the when we put it in the water. I'm almost halfway inclined to leave it as it is, but I've got a bunch of resin in the tub still, so I could use that up. I'm down, like I used 1.5 gallons of resin on it, so I've got a half a gallon left, which I could do one more strip down the middle. I'll think about it. Likely I'll do it. Yeah, there now. I've got, what do I have? I have one good coat on the whole hull up to here. Then I've got 3 coats down the middle here where it's all, where it gets wear, hitting the beach and stuff like that. and I've got it right up to the tip of the boat. And I've got 2 coats on that right there where it was split. Yeah, I guess that'll be all right. Looks like there's some air in there. I might have to dab at that a bit. Put on a rubber glove and get at it. Then what else? That's about it. I'll just see what I can do with that. I think I have a thingy here to clean. Yeah, sticky hands now. I've got to go and get myself cleaned up. So there, that's looking pretty good. Like, it looked like there was air in there, but it still looks like it, but I don't think there is. There might be underneath the very first coat, I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's hopefully it'll hold water out, not in. Well, it'll hold water in or out, doesn't matter, but as long as it'll hold water one way or the other, that's fine. And I'll have a look at it tomorrow and see how things are. Yeah, here I am back at the Black Lagoon. Gonna just sand this stuff off of here. And I'll put a coat of blue paint on this part, white paint on that part. Just see how it works out. I've got trim clad for this. It should be okay for holding on to fiberglass. And I've got plastic paint for this. It's also a trim clad, but it's made for plastics. And that'll be okay for that part. I'll tape off that black stuff and clean it up a bit so it doesn't get painted. Now there's our buddies. They like each other sometimes, eh? Let's just lay down in the sun and take it easy. What a way to spend your life. Yeah, there we are. Went over all this with with this thing here first, which kind of gets gummed up, but it's not tough on the plastic. And then after that, I went over it with the grinder with the 24 grit, just to pick up any little corner bits that it couldn't get. And for the most part, it's pretty good. Then I chased everything with acetone. Now I've got some 120 grit on here, which I'm just going to quickly go over this top bit here, take out any of the bumps, and clean off some of the dust, I hope. Then we'll go to work on it, painting, eh? Yeah, there we go, all sanded down and ready for paint. I'm just going to paint this stuff over white again, because it's been, I can't even imagine getting that stuff out of there. Anyway, the everything here is pretty good shape. A couple of little spots where it didn't quite clean out. I blew it off with a gun and everything like that, air gun. And so I'm going to paint the bottom white. Got 2 cans of that over here. What's it called? Blank, oh yeah, heirloom white. So we'll just see what that comes out like. That'll just put a bit of color to it. And then I'm going to paint the bottom blue, which this stuff here I'm going to use plastic paint for. Well, it's Rust-Oleum, but it says it can be used on Rust-Oleum. It says it can be used on plastic. And on the other one there, where's my? This one here, the bottom gets this blue medium blue, which just so happens to be the same color as blueberry truck blue, because then I can use this for touch-up later. Okay, so I'll just do a bit of, I gotta shake it up for about a minute, and then I'll get at it. Yeah, here we go. I think I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that'll be all right. That's gonna be a good color. Hopefully I have enough of this stuff. I got 2 cans of it. Let's see how far it goes. So I'll let that be. Let it set up for 20 minutes and paint it again. Hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes. There we go. See, Google will do that.
All right, 20 minutes. Starting now.
So, anyway, that's painting. Yeah, so they finally had these covers for my tent thing back in stock. So I ordered a heavy duty one. See if it'll stand up to a Fiona again for a while and give me a decent cover and shelter for the winter times and summertime in the rain. Yeah, there, now that's 2 good coats of that stuff on there, 2 cans down. That'll be all right when it's dried up. It'll look much better than it did before. We're hoping. And then I'll tape it off somewhere around here, and all that can be blue. Likely would have been easier just to make it all one color, hey? But don't you know? See how it works out. Yeah, so we interrupt this paint job here to have a look at the total eclipse of the sun. Hey, see what's going on here. I think it's starting to get covered over there. We'll just give it a while and see. I won't point the camera at it too long because I think it's tough on cameras. Anyway, that's a starter for it. We'll just see how it goes. It's getting dim. I had the tractor out doing some grading. I got the snowblower off the back of it, and I'm grading up the driveway there now while waiting for paint to dry. So much fun watching paint dry. But now I'll watch the eclipse happen. Yeah, the camera likely makes up for all the sun that's missing, but if you look down in there, the shadows are deeper than normal. Like it's not that bright in the shadows. And there it is as happening. Doesn't seem to hurt the lens of the camera too badly. So interesting. There you go. That's your total eclipse of the sun. That's as much as we get right here because it's 98% or something. And the sun has quite a bit of outside that 98%. There's 2% of the sun is enough to make it fairly bright here, but it is dim. Now this is they say an eclipse is a once in a lifetime thing, but you know, I've seen, this is number 3 or 4 for me. And they were all here. 3 of them were here in PEI. This is the 3rd one. The first one was way back, the one that Carly Simon sings about. And then that was when I was young. Maybe I was 12 years old, 13 years old. I don't even remember. And then the next one that came along was 7 years ago here at Holland Cove. I've got some pictures of that, and I had the transit out for that one. And this one here is number 3, but it's, you know, it was nice and warm when the sun was shining, but it's not so nice and warm anymore because it's only a 2% sun there, which is better than we get most days because usually it's all cloudy, but not a cloud in the sky today. So anyhow, they say not to look at it, but you know, can I look at it till I need glasses? Anyway, there you go. There's your total eclipse of the sun. I think that's pretty well totality right now, and that's the midpoint, like 438, which is right now is midpoint, and so that should be, yeah, you can see, if I don't know if you can see through these things, but I'll put these on here and see what happens. I don't know if that helps or not, but you can see the moon coming across the sun. Anyway, there you are, all that excitement for the day, right? Yeah, now the sun's pretty near back to normal-ish, and I'll get back to painting. I got light back. It got really dim there for a bit. Oh well. We'll just, I've got that taped off down below here now. And there'll be a little bit here. I'll maybe take a brush and finish it up with a brush later on. Just a little edge there, that'll do. But that's all right for now. I'll put on a couple of coats of blue. See how it works out. Yeah, so here's coat number 1. That stuff covers pretty well. A couple of spots here where it didn't get into it too much, but we'll put another coat on it soon. 20 minutes actually. And then that'll be pretty well boat ready for water, I hope. I still have to do a little bit of, I'll do a bit of touch up down in here where I didn't get blue all the way to the edge, or white all the way to the edge. One of the two I'll fix. One of the two I'll make right. Not bad looking. It'll be okay. Okay, that's all for now, and I'll come back and do another coat in a while. Yeah, pretty near set for coat number 2. Now, during the eclipse, I took some pictures with my big camera, and one of them actually turned out all right, so I'll insert that in with the eclipse stuff. So you can have a look at it. It's turned out nice. Right at totality, I would imagine. But here we only had 98% because we're just off the edge. Anyway, more painting to come. I found this thing here hanging on the wall. It makes painting with a spray can much easier than pushing your thumb down on the button all the time, or pushing your finger down on the button. So I did one coat with that, and it makes it so you can empty the can pretty well. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there, that's enough for today. That'll be a blue bottom boat there, right? So now I'll come back out after a while and shut off that fan there, let the fumes all dissipate. But for the most part, it's done day. So see you tomorrow, perhaps. Yeah, there, that came out all right. Took the tape and stuff off of it. Anyway, the down here, I'll do some touch up along here sometime, but not today. Got other things I have to do today. But the paint down here went on nice. It stayed on nice. We'll just see how it lasts for the summer, and might be an okay rowboat. Anyway, that's pretty near it. There'll be a little bit more because we've got those feet that go on here, little wheels that go on the back, so you lift up the front and then wheel the back out. Makes it easy to move. I'll get them on and show you that, and then that'll be the end of that little project. For this year anyhow. Like next year, if this lasts this year, I'll turn it over, I'll fix up the inside next year. Yeah, here I am back on the little rowboat here, eh? So this thing here, now I've got Gus very kindly supplied these little wheelie things that go on there, so it makes it so that you can wheel it around. But they need, like, they were in there before, but they were squeezing these two edges, these two things together. So I took a hole drill and drilled out the inside, left the outside alone. I'm gonna go and make some spacers on 8 spacers on the what do you call that, Um, hmm, hmm. Thingy, 8 spacers on the, oh dear me, 3D printer, right? Okay, 8 spacers on the 3D printer to go in there, and that will be good. So I have to re-drill the hole here somewhere, which I can do when I put that on. But I'll make the spacers about that size there, right? That's what came out of it. And, but deeper, I'll make them like, 10 millimeters deep. And that would be good. Okay, I'm gonna get on that. Yeah, so I cut the holes in with this thing here. That's just a hole drill on a bit, and it goes through quite nicely. Yeah, they're pretty simple disc on the 3D printer. Made it like I think 9 millimeters deep. There we go. Printing away. It'll be another 10 minutes before it's done. 10 minutes or 12 minutes per, or 15 minutes for each one. I need 8 of them, so I'll be here for a while watching this thing go round and round. Now I'll also make some plugs to go in the holes on the outside so that it completes the, I'll go show you on the boat. Whoops, there you are. That hole there, I'll make a plug that fits over that and plug in, and I can glue it to it, or, you know, just, yeah, I'll use silicone or something. That'll just seal it from this side and make it good. Then I'll measure it up and see what I need to do. There's the little plug I made. Pretty simple. But then I've also made this, or designed this, haven't printed it yet. I'll print that, and that'll be the plug that goes on the outside of it. So it's solid all the way through, and I'll just push that in the hole. This will fit the hole on the inside, and that'll be the outside cover of it. And then we'll just put them in with silicone to hold it, or some sort of glue that'll stick to that. Yeah, so here's the plug. Can't really tell it'll just plug in, and then, whoop, spacers. So I'm going to go outside and see if these things actually fit while I'm still printing stuff. Yeah, there it goes. That fits on like that. Then I'll put silicone underneath those two things, and then the plug, which is, it just sort of fits right in there. And I'll put silicone underneath that and hold that. And then this bit goes on out here. So I've got more printing to go. Yeah, there's 2 of them are in, and that's the way it's supposed to be, right like that. That will look good when I'm done. These bolts are hanging out, but I can get, I have some bolts that are on the, whatever you call that thing over there. Oh dear, hovercraft, that are good for this. Anyway, I'll carry on. Back in a few minutes, I'll go get some more printing done. Yeah, so there's, that side's bolted down. And this thing here, like you turn this like that, and then it becomes free, and then you turn it like that, and then it won't come out. It'll stay there. And I've got one cap on here with silicone. Marine grade silicone. Oh, there, the doggy's puking up whatever he found there. Good. Yeah, there's leg number 2 getting on. I've got 3 bolts into it, 1 more bolt to go. Still waiting for that thing to print. Then I have to make these plugs, and it'll be done. Good. Yeah, so the little plug that goes in here that keeps that axle from falling out, that's missing on one of the sides, so like there's only one of them. So I'll go back to the printer and print one up, and hopefully it'll hold that in there. I think I can make that. Anyway, but that's pretty well it for this. I've got 2 plugs made down there, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go, right? 6 to go, and then that'll be done. But I'll just show you how it works here in a minute. I'll get it down and show you. Yeah, there, I've got the wheels down, right? And then you just, once the wheels are down like that, they lock in. Like this thing here, if you point that at the wheel, then you can unlock it, point it like that, and you can lift the boat and the wheel won't fall out of there, right? And they'll go down like that, or else they can come up all the way. So if you want to wheel it around upside down, you can turn it around upside down and wheel it, so it works. Then one person can kind of handle it because just like that. So that's pretty well done. I will finish up these plugs here, and I'll manufacture that little piece for down there and put it in. But otherwise, I think we're done with it. And that should last us. That should go for this year. All right. We'll just see how things work out on the water. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and come on back for more. See you later. Bye. Oh, yep, not quite done yet. So I've got all the plugs made there. I need to make 2 more here, and I did design a little thing for that key that's missing right here, and it's printing right now, so maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. We'll see. Yeah, so here's the original, right? Here's what it looked like. There's hollow in there, and here's version 1 from here, from me. Now I made these little knobby things, like I made this, I stretched this out a little bit because I didn't put a, see how this has got a little screwdriver hole in there. This one here, I just make it so I can grab it with a pair of pliers and turn it, and that'll be fine, I hope. But anyhow, I'll stick it in there tomorrow. Looks like it's exactly the same, which is just, it's just amazing what that printer does. And tough enough, just as tough as that piece. So anyway, there we go. That'll be the end of, that's the boat. If there's anything bad about it, I'll send you a note next week. But it looks like it's okay for now. See you later. Yeah, what is it? It's Monday. Maybe it's April 8th. Maybe whatever it is. Buster's way up the trail there, still coming. Today's the day of the solar eclipse, and even a cruise ship came in. I imagine they had all set for solar eclipse type people. But if it stays clear like it is now, it'll be pretty good. Everybody will be happy. There's Buster, hey? Anyway, there's a red-winged blackbird up there. There's the sun up there somewhere. Can you see that? I don't know. And later on it'll be covered with the moon. We'll just see what happens. High tides these days. Anyway, we'll check in later.